Well, folks, it's the end of the year, and it can only mean one thing: collection time. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ministry of Guitar. This is going to be the first of several videos, the year-end special videos, showing you my guitar collection, the state of the collection as of this year. There is just too much. It's going to take too much time. I thought of putting it all under one video, but then I realized that it was a fool's errand. So, happy or sad, it's going to be multiple videos, and this is part one. Part one, we're going to kick it off with an interesting mix of guitars. These are guitars that I like. Some of them are special. Some of them are relatively recent acquisitions, late relative to the collection. So it's got PRS, it's got Gibson, it's got Musicman. Let's get started with part one. We'll start off here with something very special. This is one of my keepers, a guitar that I've been playing live for a very long time. This is a McCarty, a PRS, McCarty 594 Singlecut wood library. There's so many things that make this guitar special. Where do I even begin? Of course, it's a wood library, so it's got amazing woods like the flame maple, I believe fretboard. I'm going to turn it around so you can see that beautiful flame maple neck. This is the first generation of the McCarty 594 Singlecut, the year that it came out, which is end 2016, early 2017. That's when I got it. It's got a very nice story that my wife, or rather girlfriend at the time, actually fiance, can't remember now, fiance, I should have remembered that. She used to fly for Singapore Airlines, so she had a flight to the UK. So she went to Guitar. She traveled down from London. I think GAK. My apologies, GAK. So traveled down to GAK, some distance from London, and got this beautiful thing. So, what do you need to know about it? Apart from its color, which is burnt maple leaf. It's pretty standard. It's got 5815 LT pickups, a regular 3-way toggle, like a Les Paul, 4 knobs. It is basically the best 1959 style Les Paul that you can have. The only change that I have made to it is I have added black pickup surrounds, and I've also added black tuner buttons over here. Quite a beautiful guitar, beautiful case as well, which as you could have seen. Yeah, this one's staying. Alright, after the McCarty 594, this is a Fender, but this is no ordinary Fender. It's a custom shop, it's a Telecaster, but I'm just going to let you take a look, and then we're going to talk about it. I think, are you ready? Look at that. If that isn't one of the best tops that you have seen on any guitar, let alone Fender, let alone PRS, let alone whatever. This is just, I don't know. I see plenty of nice tops. I have a lot of PRSs, private stocks, and the kind, but this thing just continues to astound me. So what is this? This is a Fender Telecaster, custom shop, as I said. It is a special order by a Japanese dealer, and the dealer is called Ikebe, and this is not just any special order. What they did is they sourced a piece of beautiful maple from Japan itself, this beautiful piece over here, and they sent it across to Fender in the US, and they asked them to use this to make this guitar. So it's a very Les Paul like Telecaster in the sense that it has binding, it has a flame maple top, still has a swamp ash body though. The back of it is also beautiful. Has a beautiful flame maple neck. I don't know if I'm able to show that to you as well. Very PRS like in appointments. And to top it all off, it has gold hardware, which is also a beautiful touch. So I actually got this guitar in a trade. I traded a custom 24 for it. I'm happy. My friend who took the custom 24 is also happy. I am not the biggest Fender guy, but this is a very PRS or a Les Paul like Telecaster. So if there was ever a Telecaster for me other than the Rosewood Telecaster, which I will show you guys in a different video, it really is this guitar. How does it play and sound? Incredible. A lot more balls or meat than a typical Telecaster, but very much Telecaster sound. Very, very snappy. It's brilliant. It's a very, very good guitar. So that's guitar number 2. Alright, time for the next guitar. This is time to get over to the Gibson side of things. What say? Yes. I feel the same about Gibson, don't you? Alright. This is no ordinary Gibson, though I should open it properly. This is Pelham Blue. Very beautiful. Nice top tail bridge. Looking nice. Faded Pelham Blue. Proper full carve. Gibson custom shop. But wait. There is a little bit of a surprise. That doesn't look like a Les Paul. And that's because this is not a Les Paul. This is what they call a Bonabyrd, which is a hybrid between Les Paul and a Firebird. Spec by Joe Bonamassa, very limited run, I think about 100 pieces. I got this in Japan during a very cold winter's day. I think this was around February 2019, maybe 4 years, almost 5 years ago. So the story is very interesting because I went there to buy a Les Paul Custom or a R9, one of the two. I had neither. I thought I should get one. It's about time. And I tried, I think, at least 20 guitars. Les Paul Custom, there's a Silverburst, there was everything you can imagine. Bunch of R9s. I spent 2.5 hours in the store. And this is no ordinary store either. It is Ishibashi Ochano Mizu's world's finest guitars. It is a Gibson custom shop only. The whole shop is only Gibson custom shop. It's slightly further down on Ochano Mizu Road in Tokyo. Guess what? Nothing was as good as this guitar. It just wasn't. They didn't sustain as much, didn't have as sweet a sound, they weren't as clear. This kind of blew everything out of the water. I like the shape of the guitar. I have to say I'm not the biggest fan of Pelham Blue. I have to say that a Les Paul doesn't look right to me without the two-piece. But there is no denying what an amazing guitar this is, and it has such a nice neck as well. It's based off a 57 Les Paul, but I would say it's really like a 59 neck. It's not too thick, but it's nice and thick. The color is very nice as well. So this is number 31, I think, out of the 100. There we go. Banjo tuners, just like any other Firebird. This color, as you can see in the light, and I'm going to just take it out a little bit to show you a little bit of natural light. Let's get a sense of how this thing looks. It's a good weight for a Les Paul as well, as you can probably tell. Very nice rosewood fretboard. It's a guitar that, as I said, it's amazing. It sounds amazing. It's amazing Les Paul. It's very, very unique. I do go back and forth on whether I want to sell this or not, because as amazing as a Les Paul it is, my 594 is also an amazing Les Paul, and I feel that one is much more usable. This guitar I'm a little bit scared to play because it's such a rare guitar. So, you know, I may have a huge collection, but I'm not really a collector. So this is the kind of guitar that, amazing guitar, but I would let it go one day. That day hasn't come yet, but yeah, still very, very nice guitar. Yes. Alright, I think it's time to throw a Strat into the mix. This is of course a Fender tweed case. This is a guitar I've had for a long time, 2015-ish, so maybe 8 years. And this guitar is something that has been through a lot. I made a recent video on this, so you may recognize it if you've been following my channel. Look at that beautiful candy apple red. Look at that beautiful gold. This guitar, before I arrange it so it doesn't fall down, is Fender vintage Hotrod 57 Stratocaster. Candy apple red. Maple neck, obviously. Some appointments which make it a vintage Hotrod, which I'll talk about in a second. Another extremely, not a very expensive guitar, but indeed a very, very beautiful guitar. Now, what is the story behind this guitar? This guitar has been named Iron Man by me, and the reason for calling it Iron Man is it has been through multiple falls. When I bought it, I got it at a massive discount because it had been through a small fall in the showroom. It had gotten a dent. Then I hung it, and then I was the one who installed the hanger, which I never did again, and it fell down. Again, just some few dents. Second time when it fell down, the scratch plate broke. So what I did is, I decided to do a full, not surgery, but turn this guitar into something. I had the excuse to turn it into the guitar, the Strat of my dreams. So I put a gold anodized plate, gold hardware, which is both I think it's a Goto tremolo and Reissue tuners, locking tuners, gold parts all around. Let me show you in the light because here everything looks gold. Maybe if we just show you in the nice little sunlight, you can get a sense of how beautiful, how nicely that gold anodized stands out against the beautiful dark candy apple red. So yeah, so I got gold parts done. I didn't do it myself. I got it done through a wonderful luthier here called Goose. You see there's some better lighting from here. There we go. Those are the Reissue tuners. Very, very nice as well. Yeah. So what makes it a Hotrod 57 is a couple of things. The fretboard radius is 9 1/4 instead of a typical 57 Strat, which would be like 9 1/2 instead of 7 1/4. It has a humbucker in the bridge, a DiMarzio, I don't know what it's called, stacked humbucker. It has reasonably sized frets. And the neck is a very modern neck, not a thin neck, but not fat either. It's a very fast neck. So those appointments are what makes a 50 Strat, which is what it is, because it has a nitrocellulose finish, 50 Strat body. Very, very, very classic. That makes it a Hotrod. Very nice guitar. Happy to have it. Probably not for sale, because I've had it for a long time and I've done too much to it. Alright. It's time to head back into PRS territory. This is a suede leather case. It's not a regular case at all. And as you can see from the little plaque over here, this is not a regular guitar at all. This is the legendary PRS. There we go. Modern Eagle 1. Just gonna try and see something recentering some camera issues. You'll have to be a little bit patient with me. There we go. So, what is this beautiful, beautiful thing? This is, apart from being one of the most incredible looking guitars you will see, this is in charcoal. This is one of the most special PRS guitars out there. So what makes this special? It has this satin nitro finish, which is unlike anything you've ever seen. You have satin finishes, but the PRS Modern Eagle satin nitro just makes the flame maple stand out in a way that you feel like somebody's puts a crazy Instagram filter. No, this is just natural. There is nothing, no filter here. That's one. And it feels amazing as well. The second thing that makes it what it is this thing. This little or large thing that you would call a neck, which is made of Brazilian rosewood. Neck as well as fretboard. And we know how rare, how exalted Brazilian rosewood is. So it lends a very distinct sound to the guitar. And then finally, you have these pickups. Those are not necessarily Modern Eagle. They come with different pickups as well. That's not the biggest part of being a Modern Eagle, but these are these RP pickups. But it's really about that finish, and it's about that neck. Otherwise, it's like a regular PRS, regular body, slightly thicker like a McCarty. Comes in either a stop tail or a tremolo. This is a stop tail version. And regular 2 knobs, volume tone, 3-way switch with coil splits. This is a particularly, and of course the case and everything. This is what I call a time capsule example. One owner bought originally, not me. I bought it from him a few months ago. Yes, you were not there though. You didn't join for that. And unplayed. So the thing with these guitars is that you can find a few of them, but the satin nitro gets a little bit, not spoiled, but gets glossed if you play it too much. So the sad thing about this guitar is that if you want one in original condition, they are almost not there. But this one is. And that's what I like about it, and I love the top and the color on this one. As you can guess, I don't play it that much, but I have played it enough to know that it is something else. A pretty good guitar. Alright. We will move on to the next one then. Alright. It's time for Musicman. Again, no ordinary Musicman. It's Ernie Ball, what's it called? Ball Reserve, whatever that's called. Not the expert in Musicman, but I am not an expert, but I know when I spot a good guitar. And this thing is astoundingly, extraordinarily beautiful. This is a purple Nebula, not the John Mayer Nebula. This is the limited run Musicman purple Nebula Majesty. Not just the front, but the back as well. Beautiful plain maple stripe. Now, what is this? It's John Petrucci from Dream Theater, his signature guitar. It is a 7-string guitar because that's the version that I wanted. You can see that in a second right over here. And it has, this is the limited run Majesty with the quilt maple top. So it has this astounding purple blue finish on the quilt maple top. This was a limited run. I got this new. I always wanted a Majesty, but the regular woods just didn't do it for me. As you can tell so far, I'm very much a maple top kind of a person. Even the Telecaster I had that. So this was the obvious choice when it came to being the right guitar for me. What else? Let's show it to you in the light. Okay. You'll have to excuse my camera work a little bit. I'm trying to just figure this machinery out. Uh-oh. That's not what we wanted, but that's what we got. Maybe we just do it this way. A beautiful, beautiful piece of hardware. It's quite the guitar to play. Okay, that's maybe not what you want to see. Let's turn this around again. Yes. So what I like about it is it's a very modern guitar. It's very easy to play. It has everything. It has a tremolo, it has a piezo, 2 humbuckers. You can do a coil split as well. Amazing quality. Pretty much almost, I would say, as good as PRS. Maybe, I don't know, it's difficult to say. Slightly different, but equally high quality. Only thing for me is I'm not a Musicman person, which means that I'm not that used to them. So I find PRS is a bit more of my liking. Also, this guitar is much thinner than you expect. So the PRS is nice and thick. I'm a Gibson kind of a PRS kind of a guy. This guitar is really thin. So as substantial as it may look when you look at it from the front, from the side, and when you actually play it, it's a very thin guitar. I think some people will love that. Not my favorite aspect, but nonetheless, an incredible, the Musicman to have, actually, for me. And quite happy that I picked this up new. I've had it for picked it up locally here, actually, in Singapore. I've had it since they came out, so must have been 2019 or something. So I've had it for about 4 years now. Played a little bit, but not played that much. As I told you, I prefer my PRSs. But happy to have this in the collection. After the very modern purple Nebula, it's time to go traditional. This is kind of fate having a little bit of fun with me, because I just made a video about how I don't own a Gibson R9 and I don't plan to ever own one. And guess what? 2 days later I bought a Gibson R9. But there's a good reason for it, which you will see when I open the case. So yes, this is a 2009 Gibson 1959 Les Paul reissue with one very special appointment, which is the reason I bought the guitar. And here we go. That is a very good top. It's a very, very good top, actually, as you can just tell. And that's not the reason why I bought the guitar. The reason why I bought the guitar is right here. It's got a factory Bigsby. And I always wanted a Les Paul standard with a factory Bigsby. And I could never find one at the right price. You know how Gibson custom shops are, right? They go crazy on pricing, even used. But just as I thought I wasn't going to get one, just as when I made a video, which you can see on my channel, about how 1959 Les Pauls are scamming people in a way, I ended up buying one. And I bought it because it was an incredible looking guitar. It was at the right price. I did not pay anything close to Murphy Lab money, or not even close, actually. And it had a Bigsby, which is what I wanted. So let's take a closer look at this. It's been early days so far. I just loved how this top looks, my god. I think it's the kind of a honey burst. My first Les Paul, my first guitar, the Epiphone Les Paul, was pretty much this color. That kind of endeared me to it, and it's a very nice flame, very three-dimensional, a lot of movement. What can I tell you about this guitar? It's a 1959 Les Paul, which means it's a Les Paul standard. It's got the beautiful Les Paul tones. Nothing wrong with it. And again, for those of you who don't know, I played only a Les Paul standard for 10 years, Epiphone Les Paul standard, but nonetheless modeled after something like this. So something like this feels like home to me, even though I'm now more of a PRS person. Early days yet. I've only played it a couple of days. I have enjoyed it so far. I've changed the strings, which was not enjoyable. Note to self, don't buy more Bigsby guitars. It is just not worth it. Floyd Roses are easier to change strings on. But yeah, it is a very, very good example. Rare to have a R9 with a factory Bigsby, so that's what makes it special for me. And good neck, good weight, despite the Bigsby. Everything about this guitar makes it a very, very good example. So I think even with Gibson, if you really do want a 1959 R9 and you can't get past it, which I can understand, I recommend looking up some of these 2000s Gibsons. Alright, after checking out the R9, I think it's time to check out the guitar that probably the Gibson Les Paul has evolved into, though it's not made by Gibson. And I spoke about this in another video, but if you want the sound of a Gibson Les Paul, if you love that sound, but you're not in love with much else, such as the weight of it, such as the quality of it sometimes, such as the tuning stability of it, I think this is the best Les Paul you can buy today. And it's a PRS. It's not the 594 single cut that I showed you earlier. It is also a 594, but it is the hollow body version. Another beautiful, beautiful guitar. This one is not as flamey as a regular PRS guitar. It's rather flame actually. And somehow that's what endeared me to this guitar, because I have so many crazy guitars with crazy flames, etc. It was good to have a no-nonsense, amazing quality, just a beautiful guitar, just an amazing guitar, kind of a guitar, despite being a PRS, which tends to be very beautiful. So, what is this? For those of you who are not familiar, this is the McCarty 594, similar to what we saw earlier with the single cut, but this is a hollow body, which means it's got a maple top and, a maple back. Beautiful flame maple again. It's got mahogany in between this side thing, the body, but it's a hollow body, so it just has a little bit of a mahogany block below the bridge. It's fully hollow, unlike a 335, which is semi-hollow. Unlike a 335, it also has no feedback, zero. And rest of the appointments are Les Paul like 3-way toggle near the top, 4 knobs, but this has extra coil splits, two-piece bridge, a bit like Unimatic, but PRS's version, which is nicer. And yeah, just a very, very nice guitar. Rosewood fretboard. Now it sounds like a Les Paul, but a better version of it. It's the kind of guitar where you get all Les Paul sounds, but it has a lot more air. And not to say it's dark, in fact it's much more acoustic like, so you can get a much nicer clean tone, yet very close to a Les Paul clean tone. And you can also get great distorted tones, but if you put it like in coil splits and do like the middle position or something, you get a very acousticy sound which no Les Paul can do. So it's a Les Paul plus plus plus. I picked up this example locally. It's again not very expensive used. In fact, it's another reason I recommend it. This probably costs 1/3 of what a new Murphy Labs costs, or maybe half, even less. And I would say it's better, way better, if you want a Les Paul sound. Of course, some of you will just say that only Gibson is good enough. I think it's a great logo for a great company, but if I was to be objective, and I have multiple Les Pauls and multiple PRSs, this is all the Les Paul you ever need. Okay, we'll move on to the next guitar after this. After the evolution of the Les Paul, maybe this is the evolution of a Strat. It looks like a nice Strat, doesn't it? Maybe something slightly off. But look a little bit closer. What the hell is that? That is a ESP snapper, which is the Strat version of a ESP, but no ordinary snapper. This is a snapper 8-string. It's called the Raiden 8 because it is a signature guitar of a guitarist called ISAO from a crazy band that you may have heard of called Babymetal. If you haven't heard of Babymetal, thank me right now and Google it. So this is an ESP custom shop built in Japan. I bought it from Japan when I went there right after Japan finally opened the doors after the pandemic. They did not allow tourists yet, but they did allow business travelers, and I was one of those business travelers who found my way. The yen was very weak. It still is, but the prices have not gone up yet, so I was able to get this at an incredible price for a ESP custom shop. And forget the price, just an outstanding guitar. I wanted an 8-string guitar with a Floyd Rose. This was the only one, believe it or not. But I also do like Babymetal. I wasn't the biggest Strat person, but I have to say that this guitar is just so easy to play and so reminiscent of a Strat that, yes guys, thank you, so that you don't want the audience to see what this is. So So this guitar has just been a pleasure to play, and I'm going to turn it around so you get a sense of it. By the way, it is heavy as hell. It's like a regular hard maple neck, bolt-on body. It's very much like a Strat, but it's like a real Frankenstrat, not like Eddie Van. I mean, Eddie Van Halen is a real Frankenstrat, but you know what I mean, right? It's like, this is a true monster. I mean, Eddie Van Halen's playing was a monster. His guitar was like nothing else, but this is truly if a Strat mutated into something else. What else? Floyd Rose. It has Seymour Duncan Nazgul and sentient pickups. It has a coil split. A beautiful Raiden red, which is a bit different from Candy Apple red. It's a little bit more metallic, I would say. Some sheens of not gold, but maybe pink in it. It is quite the thing to behold. Locking tuners, everything that you can imagine, and heavy as hell, but incredibly easy to play. If you have to try out an 8-string guitar, I would recommend, if you can find this, try it out. But if you are a Babymetal fan or a metal fan in general, this guitar has to be there on your list. If you have to own an 8-string guitar, maybe this is the guitar to own. I don't think they made too many of them, so maybe that might make it a bit difficult, but what a guitar. So this is one of my players. This guitar stays out and I play it a lot. Usually I avoid making signature guitars players because, you know, signature guitars have a value of their own. But this particular guitar, I just like it too much, so I end up playing it a lot. So be it. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Alright folks, let's round off part 1 with one of my latest acquisitions. It is, as you can tell, it is a Flying V by Gibson. The case has seen better days, but again, as seems to be the theme of these videos, this is no ordinary Flying V. It's not an Adam Jones. It's not that new $20,000 plate thing for rich people, but it is a Silverburst. And let me make sure that the case doesn't fall off. Sorry. Just taking an abundance of caution. There we go. Yeah. This is a Silverburst Gibson Flying V. It's a limited run from a time period you may not remember, but back in 2008, Gibson were making this thing called Guitar of the Week, and Silverburst Flying V was part of that list, one of the weeks. This one is, as you can tell, is faded. So this is now green, beautiful green color, and otherwise the back is not silver, it's black, so it's Silverburst front. I'm going to take it outside so you can get a better look at it. There we go. Thank you for blocking the camera again. Yeah, so it's not a 50s style Flying V. It's more of the, it's not got the string through neck. It's got the Tune-o-matic. It's got just a master volume, and master tone. And I have an assistant over here who just wants to help me with the Flying V. Okay. And what do I like about this guitar? Of course, beyond the fact it reminds me of Mastodon, it is a superb rock guitar, actually. It's just made for riffs. I don't know what pickups are on this. I don't know if these are dirty fingers or what they are. I'll have to look up the actual specs. But this thing is just a mean riff machine. I have it in drop C, 10 to 52s. So even the 10s make it very slinky for leads. So that part is great, and the 52s are amazing in drop C, even with the 24.25 scale length. And the fretboard, though you might say a Silverburst should have an ebony fretboard, frankly, this guitar with the dark rosewood, with everything, it just works. There are some guitars that are good and there are some guitars that aren't. Some guitars you just play out of the box. And I can tell that this guitar has not been played a lot, but it has seen some action. and that's generally the sign of a good guitar. And the frets aren't used much, but it's something about it. It just feels like a very old, very nice guitar. So I was very happy to get this recently. Not on the selling list anytime soon. And I have to tell you, the patina of this old Flying V is actually... Oh, what do we have over there? We have somebody else filming something else. We have a clash. But the patina of the old Flying V
is... He's filming the fact that he's listening so attentively to you.
Yes, he's helping me complete this guitar collection video. So what do you think, Hibiki? Do you like the Flying V? Or do you prefer the Explorer? I think he likes the Flying V. So yeah.
What do you like, Mika?
Another one for the keep list for now. 2008 Gibson limited run Silverburst Flying V.